The primary platform that we've used for all of this is Pro Tools from the very beginning.
2 different versions, though.
Yeah, 2 different versions. I'm running 6.4 and 7.4, which are, as you know, at this point in history, a very antiquated version of Pro Tools. Or actually, both of them are. But the reason that we have them is that I have plugins that I use for my creative work that I cannot afford to upgrade on these 2 versions.
Really nice sounding plugins.
Yeah, very nice sounding plugins. The Waves bundle is very good. It's very important. The way we've integrated those 2 platforms basically are for using virtual instruments. Virtual instruments are instruments that you can run as plugins to Pro Tools that are basically MIDI tone generators, so that I can play something on the keyboards behind me, and it ends up coming out through the computer. They generate the sounds that I'm looking to recreate. One of those is that lovely B3 sound I had. The other are all the drum sounds that you hear. So I use those primarily for those sounds that you've heard there. I also have a great set of acoustic samples, acoustic piano. And then
those are all going through the inbox.
Right, and those are all going through the inbox and setting those things up. Now, the other thing that I did is I have an outboard rack full of tone generator modules. That is, again, they're old modules, but they have great sounds. We're recording this at a lower bit rate or sample rate, I should say, than I would normally think to record. But these days, we aren't really going for what we went through in the very beginning of Pro Tools, which is the constant expansion of faster sample rates and greater quantization rates. We're going for things that are going to transfer well to whatever listening platform that we're looking at. We also then recorded the acoustic instruments through a really good microphone preamp into the Digi-001, really, which is, again, an antiquated piece of equipment, but you'll find that keeping up with all the Pro Tools, the Avid constant pressing for upgrading, doesn't necessarily create a better product for you in the end, or that much of a better product. Audio recording engineering is the marriage the perfect marriage, in my mind, of technical and creative aspects of the creation of a song or a work of art. But you have to understand that one feeds the other. You can't be a lousy technician and come up with great artwork because you'll be hamstrung by how bad things sound and how you won't be able to make them work together. And then
But if all you are as good as a technician,
yeah, but if all you are as good as a technician,
and you have no ears, the room's still going to sound like.
And you don't understand how to use these technical aspects in a creative way, then you're also stranded. So you have to have equal skill on both parts to make these things really, really work together. I taught, part of my background in Pro Tools is I taught at the university level for 8 years in the 90s, and I was one of the first 6 certified Pro Tools instructors at Palo Alto. And my knowledge of what came before Pro Tools and the creation of Pro Tools up until what it is today allows me to use those tools to their optimum ability. And without having that kind of background, it would not be the same sound. Now, it may be a really good sound, but it wouldn't be the same sound that we're getting now.
Well, I talked him into bringing the Pro Tools rig in because I told him I wanted to help. And number one, I need to learn Pro Tools because I learned live audio. I did not learn Pro Tools whatsoever. Mm-hmm. So it's been a steep learning curve on that as well. And luckily, he used to teach Pro Tools, so he's more than qualified to inch me along. Mm-hmm. And I had played the song for him way before we ever started recording it. So he knew, and there's other songs that he's listened to, and we've tried to get other stuff done, but this is the first one that's come together. So. Mm-hmm.